extra time.
Obviously, very tough conditions. What's the mood of the players in the dressing room at the end of what's been a very hard day's sport?
Oh, it's just that. I think they're very tired. I think they've exhausted everything they had out there today. Look at the wicket started off really well, and I think it's starting to flatten out in that middle session. And by the end of the day, it's started to go the other way again. So, look, I think the guys have put a lot of effort in today, probably 100% of what they've got. So it's fair for them to be tired and maybe a little bit annoyed about how the afternoon went, because we were in a position at 153 for 6 to really take the game and maybe even get ahead of the game, but it didn't pan out that way.
What's been the discussion? Because obviously you only went into this game with Ben and James as recognised seam bowlers, and for certainly the first two sessions, they pretty much shouldered the workload of the bowling.
Yeah, I mean, obviously to get in that extra batter with Dan Lawrence, we had to sacrifice something, and it meant that, went in with Stokesy and Jimmy going on what the wicket looked like. We played the other day, or the other test match, the third test match, that spun quite a bit. So, I think the option was right. It's just, I think Jimmy and Ben were fantastic with the seaming ball. They got it to swing and they got it to nip round and asked a lot of tough questions. I think as the day wore on, where the spinners wanted to come into the game, it didn't quite happen for us.
And how is Ben? Because certainly in that final session, he seems to be operating on fumes.
Oh, look, mate, he bowled a lot of overs today. And a lot of, that whole first session, he almost bowled the whole first session. So he put a lot of energy into that. And he got some crucial wickets for us along the way, and he did exactly what a second seamer would do. So it was fantastic to see, bearing in mind where he's come from in those last three test matches with the ball so far. So, well, he's pretty cooked, as you can imagine, but he's a warhorse. He loves it. He loves when it gets tough, and he loves when it gets hot and tiring, and that's when he stands up the most. So hopefully we see the best of him again tomorrow.
And a word about that innings from Rishabh Pant, because as you say, he had them at 150 odd for 6, and once he got past 50, he seemed to really go through the gears. Yeah,
look, I think whether it was a discussion by them in the change room or not, but he certainly came out after that tea break and took it to us and went the other way and took the aggressive role. And I think, it's obviously paid off with him getting 100, but the important part for them was that partnership that they created with Washington Sundar, and for them to bat almost that whole session without losing a wicket, I think, hats have to go off to how they played that.
And a final one from me, if I can. What's the view ahead of the third day's play now? What has to be achieved first thing tomorrow morning if you're going to get into this game?
Well, it's pretty obvious. The first thing we need to do is take those 3 wickets as quick as we can. And I know that's every day's cricket, isn't it? You want to get as many wickets as you can as quick as possible. But those 3 wickets first, then we see what we're behind, try and knock them off, then set them something. I think, anything above 100 on a wearing wicket like we're starting to see now, it could be quite interesting to see how that plays out.
Do you have to accept sometimes that a really talented player can just take a game away from you, can transform a game?
Of course, Simon. I mean, that's just cricket, isn't it? Players are allowed to play as well as they are, showcase their skills like they can. Rishabh Pant's in this side to do what he does, like he did today, take games away from opposition, and he did that so well today. And he struck it out of the middle right from day dot. So big applause to him and that partnership, like I said, that he created with Washington Sundar.
Yeah, that was the umpire's call against Pant with Dominic Bess bowling. Can we just talk a little bit about Dominic Bess? Has his confidence been damaged, do you think, by being left out for 2 test matches after bowling well in the first innings of the first test?
No, I wouldn't say that, mate. I wouldn't say that. It probably looks like that, but I wouldn't say that at all. He needed the break, if I was being honest with you. I think he was tired at the end of that first test. He was jaded, and it affected how the ball was bowled. Yes, he would have liked to have played in the third test, and we went in with that extra seamer option because of the pink ball, and we thought it would react differently. But look, he was very excited yesterday. Coming into this test match, he was ready, he was prepped, and look, if I'm being honest with you, it's no real one thing. It's probably just the fact that it didn't work out for him today. I think if he got that LB just before tea, we would have seen a different Dominic Bess in the afternoon.
You're the new spin bowling coach. Congratulations on that, by the way. But have you spotted some areas in Dom Bess's game that you could improve technically? You could help him?
I mean, it's technical changes that that we always need to improve on. And there's some things with Bessie that we'd like to get into, the nitty-gritty stuff. But at the moment, it's about the tactical side. How are we going to play the game? We can't get into too much technical stuff with test matches on at the moment. We don't want to cloud them either. So he's got this time after this test match to get back and look at that. But right now, he's got a job to do, and that's get these 3 wickets tomorrow or contribute in some way with that, and then look forward to hopefully getting a crack at them to get those last 10 wickets in that 4th innings.
Hi, Jeetan. Just to pick up there on Bess, I mean, aside from the technical aspects there that you'd like to work on him with, how's his frame of mind? We know him as quite a bullish, self-confident character, but he does look a little bit down, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair, isn't it? I think he would have liked, like I said, would have liked to have bowled a lot better today and liked to have given a lot more to the group. And it didn't work out for him. And they played him very well. I thought they sat on him and looked for balls to score off when they could. So, look, if I'm being honest, I think, right now he'd be quite down and quite tired about it. But the beauty of this game, and I mean it, is the fact that there's another opportunity tomorrow. And for him to wake up tomorrow and come back and want to do that is very important.
And does that help kind of elevate the efforts of Pant and Sundar, where the contest seemed to be kind of, at quite a high level? Stokes got rid of Kohli for a duck and India had a bit of work to do. So when you kind of got a proper battle between high quality players, does that kind of elevate the contest in your mind? Of
course it does, mate. That's why we love watching Test cricket, is the best against the best and some of the toughest conditions going around. As I said before, Dino, at 153 for 6, I thought, that was a real opportunity for us to really open that game up. It didn't happen for us, but Rishabh Pant and Washington Sundar came out and played. Well, Rishabh Pant especially played a pretty special knock, and he's put India in this position now where they're 90 in front. So our job tomorrow will be to get those 3 wickets early.
Hi, just a word on Jimmy Anderson. Probably hasn't been charged first ball with a new ball too often, or flipped over. Reverse flips for 4, but he still finished with 3 for 40 from 20 overs. So decent day's work for him, I guess.
Oh, mate, he's a proven performer, isn't he? To bring up his 900th international victim today, they're astonishing numbers. We were discussing it as a coaching staff. I mean, who does that? It's just amazing about how he goes about his job, even to hold the run rate like he did last night and again this morning, and still create opportunities. I mean, the guy's world class, and it does bring guys with him. Guys do want to perform just alongside Jimmy Anderson, let alone for him.
Jack Leach versus Rishabh Pant has been a contest that has dominated this series, and Leach has gotten him out once. Pant has hit him for a few runs. So today, were you a little surprised that Jack didn't bowl quite as much to Rishabh Pant, or was that a plan that you had thought about in the dressing room?
No, it wasn't a plan. I was actually just as surprised as you. I would have loved to see the battle continue, but with 2 right-arm off spinners spinning the ball away from Pant, which we've had success with as well, and he's also got out to right-arm off spin before in the past. So it was just an opportunity for us to use those 2 right-arm off spinners and attack his outside edge as well as his pad. And we did do that in some ways, and we did create opportunities. They just didn't go our way.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.